Yo, so what's going on, guys? My name is Pone. How the hell are you implants doing today? Trigger word. What'd you think of when you heard implants? You thought boobs, didn't you? There are other things that could be implanted. Face implants, dog implants. It's like there are things out there, but that's just kind of what I want to go with on this video right here. I want to talk to you guys about something. I have these ideas and theories about men, and I think it varies actually per country. So I need you guys to get involved with me on this one, because this really is a question that I've always wondered. Like, I asked my stepfather, but that's just one guy, and we're on the same page. I asked my brother-in-law, and we're on the same page. So I started to think, I'm like, are all of us qualified for this same situation? Do we all think the same? And I need to know. You know, it's like a bro code thing. I mean, do we all act and think and move the same way on certain topics and situations? It's not like, oh, I support gays. You know, it's not like a choice. It's like just something that just naturally happens because it's what we are as men. So, without further ado, let's talk about this a little bit. I want you to take a moment, close your eyes. I'm dead serious. Don't worry about it. I'm not behind you with no clothes on. Trust me. I know you'd want to peek at that, but just contain yourself for a minute. Think a little bit. Just kind of just slow it down. There's siblings behind you watching SpongeBob. Go choke them out. Just give it a minute. Quiet it down. Alright, so let's go. Just imagine for a minute that you're laying in your bed right now. Comfortably. It's 2 a.m. It's night. It's dark outside. You're laying in your bed. Your wife could be next to you. Your little sister could be next to you. I could be next to you. Whatever helps you sleep. And I'm right there. And you wake up. You wake up out of nowhere. And you hear a little noise. And you start to fear something. You start to feel the worst. Guy breaks into the room. Is prepared to kill you. What's he carrying? And I'm dead serious. I want you to take a moment to get in the comment box right down below. I have a feeling that the majority of people are going to say gun. And maybe even if you're in a different country, like where guns are not really a thing, but are you afraid to lose your life to a gun? You know, is that what it's going to happen? Is he going to come in with peanut butter and greet you? No, it's like the first thing you think of naturally for me and my family is he's going to come in shooting up the place. And naturally what I think is what to do. So that's just one of those things. I mean, it's just like a play on one of those things when you like when you're up at 2 a.m. reading a book on your Kindle or something and you hear a noise on somewhere in your house. You don't know where it is, but you think it's on the outside of your door and you're just coming to terms that you're about to die. You know, one of those things you think, you know, instantly when I hear a noise outside of my door, first thing I think of is the gun loaded. Like, that is the first thing that registers in my head because I'm going to reach over, rack it, and poor guy to walk into my house. So I know not every country has those laws, not everybody has that feeling, but I think that actually may be a big thing. I was thinking that maybe if I lived over in the UK or wherever it is banned, that the biggest fear is a guy's going to come in with like a crowbar or a knife. And at that point, I wouldn't live in fear. I wouldn't have to worry about guns and somebody coming in and wasting me. He's going to have to get close to me. If he has to get close to me, I'm going to be able to buy time to save my family. It's just one of those things I get to do, one of those things I get to deal with and work with, I get to comprehend. And as soon as I know something like that, you know, if I didn't have to worry about weapons and guns and it being so much of a problem and being everywhere, because somebody could just run in somewhere and take your life and it's nothing you could do about it. You just are not going to have the time to keep up with something like a weapon like that. But if he's got to come in, square up, hands on hands, maybe a knife involved, yeah, I may die, but I know there's going to be plenty enough time for me to fuck him up and save my family in time. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. So that's a comfort thing. I wouldn't live in fear. I wouldn't worry about how I need to survive. It's just a matter of just trying to outmuscle that other guy and save my family. So this was the question I wanted to ask you guys. So down in the comments below, say, yeah, he had a gun. Tell me it like straight honest. He had a gun. And there's another situation I wanted to ask you guys too. And this one is just, I don't know. Yeah, part of me makes it feel like I'm paranoid. Part of me just thinks it's me being protective. Every time, and this changes. It's not when I'm by myself either. Like if I walk into a store by myself. Actually, I lied. It does actually affect that, and it affects it in a different way. Say I walk into a convenience store. I'm walking into a CVS or Walgreens or whatever the hell you got by you. I walk into a corner store, one of those little convenience stores, you know, go in there to grab me some tampons, whatever it is I need to grab in there, a bag of Funyuns, something like that, some foods, because I'm fluffy like that. So I walk in there, and the first thing I do, whether or not I'm going into a movie theater, a restaurant, a convenience store, the first thing I do is I scope the exits. I look to see if, you know, what's the easiest way out. Are there any windows you could break through? And I don't know if it's because of our country that I think like that, or if it's just I want to do my best to protect my family, just in case situations. I walk into a room, I count the doors, I count the exits. I know exactly where we go. I know where to run to if somebody busts in the room with a fully auto weapon that I need to do to save my family. And that's kind of weird to be feeling. You know, I don't think that's normal to think that way, but I don't know if it's me just thinking that way, or if that's because our country, because that kind of thing happens, and nobody ever expects it when it happens, but it's better to be prepared. I don't know if that's just the guy in me that's protective of my family. So tell me if that applies to you too. I mean, if you're an older person, obviously if you're a kid, maybe not so much, but if you're an older person, you have somebody you're responsible for, somebody you love, somebody you take care of, do you think that same way? I mean, part of me is like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But I also am not thinking about myself in that situation. So if I walk into a store, it doesn't change too much. If I don't have my wife or my son or my mother-in-law or my mom or somebody with me and I walk into a store, I still scope it out if there is people in there. I think about who I'm going to save first. I think about what I need to do to protect them. I think about what corners I could take to disarm the gunman. You know, I don't know why I think that way. And it's so weird. It's so crazy to naturally just think that way. And I want to see if that applied to everybody else. I just want to think if I'm just that one guy that's willing to sacrifice himself like an idiot and everybody else would just be scrambling, or if you would do what you can to try to preserve the life in that room. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy like that. I don't know. I've never been in like the army or anything like that. I've never had training. So I feel like it's just a natural part of me that I need to do what I need to protect other people. But that's just one of those things, you know, like at night, you know, when I hear noises, I think what I got to do to protect my family. I think there's been times, you know, I hear a noise or something, and I'll go downstairs and, you know, gun cocked, ready to go, and you just never know. Especially in the neighborhoods I grew up, it's not very uncommon at all for people to get robbed, mugged, broken into, shot, stabbed. It's just not uncommon. But so I'm extra like alert here. You know, I don't know about the other places around the world if there's like not really a big thing for crime or anything like that. But to be serious, it's just one of those things that I think is a little bit weird. And I wasn't sure if it applied to other people. I know it did to the 3 people that lived around me, the 3 males that I asked. They thought the same way. They always think about what they need to do to save their family, and they always go about that route. And I wanted to see if you guys did too. So be honest, leave a comment down below. Let me say, yeah, Pone, when I saw that guy, when you were visually imaging what was happening, or imagining what was happening when you're in your moan and you're laying in your bed and I told you to think about it, and a guy broke into the room, what was in his hand? And I have a feeling that like 99% of you guys are going to say a gun, and there's going to be a couple jokers saying a dildo or something, but you know what I mean? It's just going to be one of those things that I think, honestly, people are going to feel that, you know, that's what they're afraid of, and that's scary. And I want to see if that applies to other countries that do not have it. So also, be sure to let me know where you're from. When you say a gun or a knife or whatever, say I'm from, you know, London or something, you know, whatever you want to do. And then also give me a little bit of comfort to let me know if anybody else thinks that way in a convenience store. There's no right or wrong way. If anything, I think it's stupid. I want to survive. But for some odd reason, I put other people first. It makes no fucking sense to me. I've got a family I want to see. And to be real, I mean, if those people die, it's not my problem. I'm not trying to be, you know, wrong or mean about it. But I still think that way. And it's just really weird. But that's just me. Let me know your opinions on it. Let me know if you have any of the same feelings. Don't be afraid to admit anything or not admit it. I mean, there's no wrong or right answer with this. It's just opinions. So have a great, wonderful day, guys. Be sure to click that like button. It'd be awesome if we can hit 3,000 likes. We hit it the other day, and I'd really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, okay? Stay moist.